This is a stimulus check update and daily news report. Got a lot of important updates to share with you in this video. The IRS just put out an important announcement about any stimulus checks you did not receive and how you could claim it through the rebate recovery credit. Also, child tax credits, how to get your second half. When it comes to rental assistance, 2.5 million houses have received help, but there's still 5 million houses struggling as not all the money has been sent out. When it comes to the Build Back Better bill, President Biden's legacy is hanging on Joe Manchin. I'll give you an update of where the Democrats stand. I'll also give you the Republican perspective there. I'll give you a quick COVID update and how Pfizer has just approved the new COVID pill, and I'll give you some other important updates and video clips as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers, and I'll talk more about that later on in the video. But first, here's a quick COVID update. So World Health Organization says vaccine booster programs will prolong COVID crisis. No country can boost its way out of the pandemic. So basically what it's saying here is that there are a lot of countries that aren't even getting their first shot yet. Meanwhile, in the US, they're up to the third shot for the booster shot, and that if everybody doesn't get the vaccine, then it's just basically prolonging the COVID crisis. To be honest, it seems like the vaccine, although it can protect individuals, doesn't prevent the spread of it. So it looks like they're trying to come up with a new plan there. Then here, DC to require coronavirus vaccination to enter restaurants, gyms, and other businesses. So this is big. This is sort of like New York of what's going on there. And there was a lot of outrage after that announcement. So outrage after DC Mayor Bowser's new COVID vaccine order, saying it will kill businesses, not viruses. Let me know your thoughts on that. Will preventing people going into businesses, restaurants, and gyms, will this help the situation? Will it hurt the situation? Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, new approval here. So FDA authorizes first pill to treat COVID-19. So this is from Pfizer. So the U.S. Drug and Food Administration on Wednesday authorized Pfizer's antiviral pill called Paxlovid. And this is the first antiviral COVID-19 pill authorized for ill people to take at home before they get sick enough to be hospitalized. So this is, I guess, if you get sick, then you take this to not get super sick from the virus. High-risk individuals aged 12 and older who weigh at least 88 pounds have positive SARS-CoV-2 test are eligible for this treatment and will need to have it prescribed by a doctor. Let me know your thoughts on this. Would you be willing to take this COVID pill if you're tested positive, or would you just ride it out or go to the hospital? Let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. Next, let's talk about this IRS announcement that was just put out. So IRS issues information letters to advanced child tax credit recipients and recipients of the third round of economic impact payments. Taxpayers should hold on to letters to help the 2022 filing season experience. So basically, what's going on here is there's two different letters here. One is for the child tax credit. So if you have not received the child tax credit, this may not be important to you. The second one is to get your third stimulus check. So to help taxpayers reconcile and receive all child tax credits, which they are entitled to, the IRS will send letter 6419, which is for the child tax credit, which ends in 2021. So basically, this letter is going to include a total amount of child tax credit payments that you have received and the number of qualifying children used to calculate the payment. So basically, it's going to give you a summary and then what to do for the future to claim the rest of your 2022 child tax credit. So even if you've never filed a tax return, you're going to have to in order to get any missing child tax credit money or that second half of it. Also, this one right here, economic impact payment letter, can help with recovery rebate credit. So this is called the letter 6475 for your third economic impact payment. This was the $1,400 check that came from the American Rescue Plan. So letter 64755 applies to the third round of economic impact payments that was issued starting March 2021. So if you did not receive your third $1,400 stimulus check, stay tuned for this letter because you're going to have to file a recovery rebate credit. When it comes to other stimulus checks, millions of surprise stimulus payments worth up to $125 are being sent out. Here's how to file yours. So this is talking about the Indiana, I guess, stimulus check or tax return that every Indianan is going to get. So because they had $4 billion in surplus, and they're going to give $125 when Indianians file their taxes. When it comes to the fourth stimulus check for the $2,000 per month to every American petition, currently at 2,990,000 signatures. Looks like it might hit 3 million before the end of the year. And then we have House Democrats call for Congress to pass another COVID relief package. So I mentioned this the other day. This guy right here, Representative Jamal Bowman, he's the one calling for another stimulus package. Basically, a lot of the stimulus provisions like unemployment assistance, stimulus checks. Now, this came out a week ago, and we haven't really heard much about it. Democrats are mainly focused on the Build Back Better bill at the moment. So when it comes to more stimulus packages, although it sounds nice, but I want to keep it real with you, we don't know any details, and we don't know if it's going to happen. So this one, federal pandemic rental aid helped 2.5 million households. Nearly 5 million households are still struggling. So basically what it says here is the money is still making its way to struggling renters. About 80% of the first tranche is expected to be spent or obligated by the end of the year. So 80% of that 46 billion, about 80% of that has been finally sent out. For a while, it was like only 5%. But yeah, more money is coming out, but there's still 4.7 million households behind on their rent across the country. So although it helped a lot of people, there's still a lot of people struggling. There may be more calls for rental assistance coming up in the future. Next, when it comes to Biden, I mentioned this before, Biden extends pause on student loan repayment through May 1st. So originally it was supposed to end February 1st. Now it's another 90 days until May 1st, which is when the first federal student loan payment is due, and that's when interest will start to be accumulated. When it comes to the Build Back Better, so Biden faces legacy-defining challenge in salvaging his Build Back Better bill. So basically, President Biden's legacy is riding on the Build Back Better bill, and which she made a lot of promises on, and doesn't seem like it's going to happen because of this guy, Joe Manchin. It's Manchin mania these past few days. Here is a video clip explaining the latest, and then I'll give you the Republican perspective after that.
Welcome back. Turning to Capitol Hill now, Senate Democrats held a special virtual caucus meeting last night to plot their way forward on what is the stalled Build Back agenda. Senator Manchin did join the call just 2 days after he said he could not support the bill. From what sources have been telling us here at NBC, the call wasn't quite a Festivus-style airing of grievances, if you will, but Manchin did reiterate his concerns with the bill. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer reiterated that the Senate will vote on Build Back Better soon, even though it appears doomed to fail, at least this version of it for now. But the very fact that he was on the call suggests he's still on board to pass something, which for close Manchin watchers is not surprising. Joining me now, one of the senators who was on that call, Minnesota Democrat Tina Smith. Senator Smith, thank you for coming on.
Great to be with you, Chuck.
Let me start with, so Manchin's on the call. Everybody feels as if at least there's you guys are having a conversation. What does this mean going forward? Do you still think that the caucus wants to have a vote just to say they tried? Or is it time to actually put together a bill that you know Manchin can support?
Yeah, well, so I think we heard Senator Manchin say last night what he said publicly, which is, I just can't get there. So what we need to know from Senator Manchin is, where can he get to? Like, where does he want to end up with this? I heard yesterday on the call from my colleagues a real sense of determination to do the best that we can and a sense of urgency to get through with this. And, you know, I also kind of think that in this moment, people are pretty mad on all sides. And sometimes the more you talk, the worse it gets. And so I think right now it's not bad that we take a little bit of time to cool off negotiations, and then you come back together again. And there are some signs of optimism that we're going to be able to find a path forward. Not everything that I would want, not everything that the progressives would want, but some things that would be really good for the country. And that's what we have to stay focused on.
Well, tell me your priorities then. This whole thing's not going to survive. We know that. What, in your mind, has to be in there? And you know, where you sit there and you're like, boy, this was a waste of time if we didn't do this.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot in Build Back Better that I think are really great, but here are two places where I think you could find some important common ground. I've worked really, really hard on expanding access to childcare that is affordable. By all accounts, this is something that Senator Manchin thinks is a good idea. If we have 50 votes in the Senate for that, it's a priority of the president's. Let's just get that done so that we can help families go back to work and make sure that children have a great place to be. We have a terrible shortage of childcare in this country, and it is hurting families and hurting our economy. And of course, the other issue that I had some hope for is taking strong action on climate and carbon emissions. The reports are that Senator Manchin left that on the table in the last discussions he had with the White House. That gives me hope, because this is the number one thing that we have to do to reduce carbon emissions, create jobs, and put the United States on the forefront of the clean energy transition in terms of technology and innovation and building domestic supply chains.
Despite the big hiccup with Joe Manchin, Democrats are still optimistic that they're going to get it done, although they've been that optimistic for the past 6 months trying to get the Build Back Better done. But they're still at it. Chuck Schumer saying it's still going to happen. Joe Manchin joining the negotiating table again. We'll see what happens. Here's the Republican perspective of the Build Back Better bill and how Republicans are loving Joe Manchin at the moment.
Welcome back to Hannity. The White House is still reeling from Senator Joe Manchin torpedoing the Build Back Better plan. And now former President Donald Trump is speaking out, saying this is a good thing for the country and for Biden as well. He told FoxNews.com, quote, "I think that Manchin is actually helping Biden from himself. Because if you look at it and you look at what was potentially going to be passed, and I'm not saying it won't, maybe he'll change his mind, but it would blow this country up with inflation and with other problems." Unfortunately, that doesn't mean the White House and far left progressives in Congress are ready to let it go. Some are even calling on Biden to take executive action to keep parts of the plan alive. Here's what Jen Psaki said earlier today.
But our objective and our focus now is moving forward, both with our relationship with Senator Manchin and our efforts to get Build Back Better done, to have discussions with other members of the Democratic caucus. And we're going to spend less time looking in the rearview mirror and more about looking forward.
And Biden told ABC News tonight that he isn't giving up on Build Back Better. So what will the new year bring? Joining us now with reaction is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Hannity. I had the pleasure and honor of serving with you, and when we were both in the House of Representatives. Donald Trump made an interesting observation, and that is that Joe Manchin probably saved Joe Biden from himself. What's your reaction to that?
I think he may be saving some of these moderate Democrats who are desperately looking for a place to land. And what Joe Manchin has done is to say, okay, there's the Joe Manchin wing of the Democrat Party, and then there is the Joe Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, AOC, the squad wing of the party. But here is what we do know, Jason. The Build Back Broke blow up, as I like to call it, is something that has rocked Washington. They did not get their way. The American people have rejected what they are offering. In West Virginia, this is wildly unpopular. So then what do the celebrities and the elitists do? They start demeaning and disparaging the people of West Virginia for having an opinion and wanting to protect their freedom, and with disagreeing with the leftist socialist wing of the Democrat Party. So I think that all of this together is making a very good environment for the Republican candidates in 2022.
Yeah, it's a really interesting because I don't know why they just went to such great lengths to disparage Senator Manchin and the residents of West Virginia. They still need him on every single vote moving forward. And I don't see why Joe Manchin continues to put up with that. I think the Democrats will pass something, though, out of reconciliation. They can't let that tool pass them by without passing something. What do you think that's going to look like?
They're going to try. Yeah, they're going to try to do something. I think the problem they have now is the American people realize this is a socialist agenda. And the American people realize the Democrats are trying to take one vote, take control of your children, their education, of your bank account, your small business, force the Green New Deal on you, and people are tired of CRT. They're tired of federalizing elections. They're tired of crime in the streets. And what they're looking for is to get their freedom back. And you know what? They're really tired of inflation, and passing the Build Back Broke bill would make inflation worse. So I think every day that passes, Jason, they're going to have a much more difficult time. When you're going to the grocery store, shelves are empty. You're going to 3 or 4 grocery stores to get what you need for Christmas. When your gas is up near $3.50, $4 a gallon, I mean, they are losing ground fast. You can look at all the polling, the economics, the security of this. People have said, no, we gave you a shot. You have dropped the ball. We're done.
And that is all the stimulus news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is a tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing when you feel sad, you have to do something that you really want to make you feel better or make you feel true. Or you can also, if you help somebody, then you'll feel even better or something. Or if something's really into you and you're really feeling good, you should do that as well. Bye, this is Bella. This was the tip of the day.
Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and for being a part of the Wise Flies community. I'm giving out $200 checks on the 26th. That's when I'll announce the winners of those $200 checks. Details down in the description below. And yeah, I'm gonna celebrate some more Christmas stuff, hang out, trying to still get everything organized and all done, and try to sneak some gifts to the side so the kids don't see them, so that Santa could take the credit for that. Anyways, hopefully you're having a great day. If you want to check out my latest Wise Vibes video, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.